How's it going, everybody? This is Emmanuel with a much needed, overdue dev video for my game Redemption. I think this is the second one, and it's not going to be too long, so I'm just going to speak on a few things while the little small time lapse plays. So, the biggest changes, the biggest changes is that I have decided to switch from doing it in a 2D pixel style, and going with the 3D cell shaded style. Which, if some of you do not know what that is, just think of the new DBZ, the current DBZ fighting game, as well as Borderlands kind of had it as well. A good example is Nintendo's Breath of the Wild. So that style, and it's the reason that I decided to go with that is I love the pixel 2D style, and that's what I was going for. But as far as since I'm making it all myself, it will be a little bit easier to do it in 3D because Unreal Engine is awesome for both 2D and 3D. But I can't lie and say that it doesn't have a more easier workflow for 3D. With Paper 2D, yes, you can practically do anything that its 3D side can do. You're just probably going to have to add extra steps. So, like for doing something in 3D, might take 5 steps, but doing it in Paper 2D might take 10 steps. And the thing is, there's not much, I guess, tips, lessons, tutorials out there for that, and which made it harder. But I can say that I was able to figure out some things that I couldn't really YouTube or look up, and that was with the combo system, which I'm gonna keep it in the back of my mind because I've learned with development that I've picked up just from being an illustrator. Excuse me. That whatever you do, never throw away anything. So even if I have like a drawing or something I can't stand, I still won't throw it away. Excuse me. Uh, I'll just keep it because you never know. A year or two later, or a week later, you might see it and then it sparks something. So, same thing with programming. If it's something I came up with and I might not use it, I am going to keep it. I'm just gonna, since I do blueprint scripting, I screenshot it, and then that's it. I honestly would like to use both a mixture of blue scripting, blueprints, and C++. But for some reason, my computer, like, because I built my computer, but for some reason, Unreal it just won't work when I try to do that. So that's the biggest change. And as far as that color style, I'll link down below whose tutorial that I use, which is really good. And of course, I don't know exactly how everything works, but if I get something working in Engine, then I'll go back and pick it apart. I'll copy it and pick it apart so I can figure out why does it work, like what piece makes this work. And then half the time now, I honestly will just get into the engine and just um, go at it. I just figure out what I want to do, and then just see if I can figure it out myself or get close to it, and then go look it up and see if anybody has done it or if I can grasp anybody. And usually with that way, I figure it out quicker, or I get my solution quicker instead of going to look it up first. So, and through this time lapse, what you're seeing is me just taking a model from a fan art I did of someone's ringtail girl, and I'm just kind of modding it a little bit, just to have some I wouldn't say stock because it's not stock, placeholder characters. So I have Trixie's placeholder, and I just changed her diffuse map So then, one color represents a basic enemy, one a range enemy, and one a boss enemy, and that's it. And just threw it in the engine and went through the tutorial to get the cell shade, um, the cell shade material, as well as the black outline material. And now I'm just I'm just building the the basics. Um, I'm not doing attacks yet or anything. I just threw in the basic blend space, animated blueprint just to get movement and a jump for now. And now I have the basic camera system idea, which Trixie has her own camera, which follows her, right? And it's still side scroller. And I'm going to have cameras in on the level and through the level blueprint when she crosses a certain area and hits a certain trigger box or what have you, the camera's going to switch from her camera to that camera that's in the level, and that camera basically will lock in place. That means that when she moves, the camera doesn't move because it's not on her camera. Thus, that would be where most beat 'em ups, when you get to a certain part where it spawns the enemies, you can't backtrack or go forward because the camera is locked in place. And then also when she hit that trigger, which is what I'm going to build next, is when you step in this box. Okay, switch to this camera. Drop down the blockable volume so you can't you know um, move out of frame, and then spawn set number of enemies, and then have it run a check and be like, okay, all these enemies still alive? Yes. Okay, do nothing. Then when it gets down, okay, all the enemies defeated. Yes. Okay, then switch back to her camera, and then remove those blocking volumes, and then you can go. Then play, whatever, go animation, and then that will be the basic scheme right there. Then from there, I will add the enemies. But I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, it's not much because the main thing I did was just get like the models in. And as far as animations, I just use Mixamo animations. So I just drop my character in there, and that's it. Which I won't use. Which, when it comes to the actual game assets, I will do the animations. Everything myself. I'm trying to think what else is there. I think that's about it. Because that's what's next. So yeah, all I did was just change the game aesthetics, what it's gonna be, and working on blueprints. And I have an idea since I'm doing it in 3D, but I'm gonna kind of marinate on it a little bit. Like maybe have scenes, like maybe just on like a boss scene or something. You kind of do how Contra did it a few times, where like most levels, it's side scrolling. Then some levels, it's like the angle changes to where you're on the bottom, and I don't know how to say it. But those of y'all that know Contra, like the classic Contra, know what I'm talking about. Um, Basically, like turn it to like it's a third person view in a way. Since I have more options with the perspective camera and cameras in general. I think that's it. So, like I said, not much. Just finally giving an update, which I know I'm behind. So, appreciate y'all. Appreciate you checking it out. If you have any questions, just let me know. And take it easy. And I'll catch y'all on the next update.